chapter 4, section 4. So, all right. So, after kicking out the Hyksos, Ahmose is going to found a new line of pharaohs, and this begins the new kingdom. Egypt is going to become richer, and the cities are going to grow larger, and these new pharaohs are going to even go out and invade other lands. And you're going to see the formation of an Egyptian empire as they take over other lands. Thutmose III is going to start the Egyptian empire. He's going to take about 20,000 warriors and extend the Egyptian borders. He's going to extend his control across Syria and Palestine. But you have some pharaohs in the New Kingdom that don't like war. For example, Hatshepsut. She focuses her time on building temples. She's going to focus a lot on trading with other lands. She's going to have traders that travel along the east coast of Africa, and she's going to trade with the land of Punt. And Egypt is going to trade beads and metal and metal tools and weapons. And in return, the Egyptians are going to receive ivory. They're going to receive ebony, which was this black wood. They're going to get monkeys, hunting dogs, leopard skins, incense, which you burn for smell. And most of these items are going to be new to the Egyptians. As far as religion goes during the New Kingdom, there's going to be a new god, Amun-Re. This is a combination of the sun god and the god of the city of Thebes. And this is the most powerful god of all. They would build temples in his honor. And they would build these temples with slaves that they received from wars with other lands. And these temples that they would build would be houses of worship, but they would also be industrial centers. There'd be work there for sculptors and artisans. They would be treasuries as they filled them with copper and gold and glass bottles, grain, dried fish, oils. They would be schools where boys would be trained to be scribes, and that privilege passed down from father to son, because these scribes were writing the religious works, spells and charms and prayers. They would record laws, grain records, taxes, stories, prescriptions. And there were several kind of writings that would occur in Egypt, but probably the main writing you're going to see out of Egypt was going to be hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics was a kind of writing in which pictures stand for a word or sound. And they would carve and paint these picture symbols on monuments. It was too hard to use this writing for daily record keeping. So they had other systems that they would use for that. But this is more of that formal writing for monuments and things like that. So the power of Egypt is not going to last forever, obviously. Those priests of Amun-Ra are going to gain a lot of power, a lot of wealth. they end up owning about a third of the land of Egypt. And these priests play a major role in the government. And the power of the pharaohs actually start declining. Amenhotep IV in 1370 BC is going to disagree with the priests. He wants the power to return to the pharaohs. So he closes the temples of Amun-Ra and fires all the temple workers. And he's going to set up a new one God religion, and the new god was going to be Aten. And Amenhotep IV is going to change his name to Akhenaten, which means the spirit of Aten. But the issue is, you just can't take all the people and say, hey, your old religion isn't there anymore. Follow mine. I mean, basically, the only people that followed this new religion was him, his family, and his advisors. And he is going to die in 1360 BC. And the new pharaoh is going to be Tutankhamun. King Tut, you may know him as. And King Tut is only going to, well, he takes power when he's 9 years old. The priests make him return Egypt to the old religion. He dies after ruling only about 9 years. So he dies around the year when he's age 18. Egypt is losing its power. You've got that struggle. Oh, and there's King Tut's King Tut's actual mummy and coffin and everything. So Egypt's losing power. You got this struggle between the priests and the pharaohs. And they're trying to keep these members of an empire, they're trying to keep these neighboring lands under Egyptian control. But they're spending a lot of money and they're spending a lot of energy on these wars. And they're having to bring in a lot of iron ore to make the weapons. So Egypt's struggling here. And around 1150 BC, the empire's gone. And it just kept growing weaker and weaker. And eventually, in 671 BC, the Assyrians are going to take over Egypt.